Hi there, and welcome to the Rangers News YouTube channel. It's Jordan Carlisle here alongside James Black.
How are you doing?
Not so well. Thanks very much, James. Difficult day out at Hampden on Sunday. So first protocol is really to just dissect what went down there, and just what are your thoughts?
That's a hard one. I felt much worse coming away from Old Firm defeats than I have after yesterday. Rangers deserve to win that over the course of 90 minutes. We were a far better team. But I can certainly feel a certain bit of sympathy with certain fans of a certain age who had to watch Andy Gorham do that to them on a regular basis. Forster was immense for them. I think he kept him in the game for long spells at him. It could have been 2, 3, 4 by half time.
Yeah, I think was it a surprise to you how dominant Rangers were, really? Because we're talking about at the start, maybe at Ibrox in September, we got things wrong. The tactics were wrong, the personnel were wrong, and we never really gave ourselves a chance in the game. Whereas this was the complete opposite. It was chance after chance. We looked hungrier, first every 50-50. Was that surprising?
Not particularly. I think when you looked at the two starting 11s, Rangers had the stronger side of the two. I think Ben for Boys v Blue Noses podcast said it in our group chat before the game that he thought as well that the Rangers side looked the stronger of the two. I think when we play to their strengths and they play the type of game that they want to play, then they're a match for any side in Scotland. More than a match for 95% of them. So, I wasn't that surprised. The biggest surprise was how poor Celtic were, more than how good Rangers were, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I think I'd certainly sort of echo that. I think Celtic offered absolutely nothing. Well, pretty much for the entire game. We've got the goal, which clearly everyone has seen. Basically immediately after it went in that it was offside. It was at least Julian was offside. A really poor decision, and then when Rangers
Willie Collum show, like I said last week.
Yeah, and then when Rangers were breaking forward, trying to get back into the game, then you had the Mikey Johnson chance, but they created absolutely nothing of their own, and it was just it was wave after wave. It was as if it was a game at Ibrox against a Ross County or something like that, but with an intense atmosphere around it. It was so one-sided. But what do you think then? Obviously, the major thing to come out of it is the fact that Morelos has failed to score again, despite having all the chances. What did you make of his display?
Morelos has been getting hammered in some quarters for how he played yesterday, and I generally thought that he had a really good game. I thought for long spells he bullied Ayer and Julian. I mean, you look at some of the chances that he had. If he's not performing, he's not getting into those positions to start with, to have those chances. And a lot of them, he was denied by some brilliant goalkeeping. And another day, he could easily have had 2, 3, 4 goals, but for an Andy Gorham-esque performance for Lurch.
I think, I don't know, it's a tough one, like trying to dissect it after the game and do ratings and that sort of stuff. Trying to look at it, everything about the performance up until the final product was good. Like, as you say, he was bullying guys, getting them out of the way, just being that niggly, annoying, but also smart striker that he is. But I think there has to be a recognition at this point that I think he's trying too hard.
Yeah,
I don't think there is any doubt about that. There's instances where he's always good at that like powerful finish where he goes for the laces, but yesterday it was thrash at it, try and break the back of the net. You know what I mean? Really do it in style, and I think you could tell the nerves were there in the penalty.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think I don't know. I think having missed all the chances in the game puts a lot more pressure on that penalty. If he gets that penalty 10 minutes in and hasn't already been, denied 6-7 times by the keeper and missed the header, I think the header was the clearest chance of the game, back post, and he tried to go downward with it, which in theory is maybe the right thing, but then that made it significantly easier for the keeper, and so I think that was disappointing. Was there anyone else that you felt stood out for Rangers and was excellent, or guys who didn't necessarily pull their weight?
I think most of them were excellent. For me, Ryan Kent maybe didn't quite deliver on the expectation that comes with him. I thought, like you said with Morelos, actually, I thought he kind of tried a little bit too hard at times, and he was running at defenders and he was trying to get into positions, but there was also quite a few times where you could see there was a pass on for him, but he'd rather do a couple of step overs and keep trying to go on his own. So that maybe wasn't the best. But no, generally speaking, I thought everybody played pretty well. I know Tavernier's coming for a lot of stick. I thought he had a really, really solid game. Goldson and Hellander, one or two wee moments they maybe weren't brilliant, but other than that, done very, very little wrong. I thought the midfield coped really well without Stephen Davis. I actually think when Glenn Kamara came off, it contributed to Rangers losing their shape a little bit and losing their rhythm. And there's kind of maybe a 5-minute spell after that where they did sort of struggle to get their foot in the ball and just kind of calm the game down and kind of dictate themselves in Celtic.
I'd certainly agree with the Kamara thing. I thought he was excellent. I thought he struggled in Old Firm in September. But I thought he was really good, really up for the battle, competed. Your likes of Brown and co, he was shrugging off the ball a couple of times and really putting. And I think you're right that once we made that change, we saw arguably less of the ball, even though they were down to 10 men, and created certainly a lot less. The one thing I would say in the centre backs was I thought Goldson was commanding in the first half, didn't give Morgan a sniff, but he struggled, I thought, actively when Edouard came on. It was a poor free kick to give away for the goal. Got too tight. He did him again at one point. He looked like he was at Edwards on now, so like what am I gonna do? Whereas he was completely in control before that. I think Christie did him in a wide channel as well. So I think his form maybe since the international break, there's a bit of a question mark over that, having been excellent before that. I think when he comes up against your better caliber strikers, he maybe still has questions to answer there. But so obviously hugely disappointing in terms of, we talked beforehand about how big this game could potentially be for Rangers. But what do you think now? There's no point in looking back endlessly on this. So where can we go from here? What does this mean for the season?
There's a real risk that it could start to derail the season. And I really think that the Europa League game of young boys is going to be the real acid test for him now. It's going to be the sign of if Gerrard's going to get that reaction from him or not. But I do think that the timing's probably the best it could have been for Rangers. Because if things are going to go wrong, having them go wrong just now before the transfer window opens next month is much, much better than them going wrong in February when the transfer window is just shut. So if Gerrard sees that there's maybe a couple of players that aren't good enough, or he doesn't think I've got the bottle to carry on to push for title 55, then at least now he's got the opportunity to replace him next month. If this had came, as I say, in a couple of months' time, you're stuck with that for 3 or 4 months, and you've got the cards you've been dealt. So I do think that there is a real chance it could really hurt Rangers' season. But when you look at how the players bounce back for disappointment of last week's draw with Aberdeen to Sunday, that's been a big turnaround for the performance for the second half at Pittodrie. And there was a lot of kind of criticism for fans online and on forums and what have you, kind of panicking a bit about going into the cup final. But the performance itself kind of not necessarily shut them up a little bit, but showed them that there is a strong mentality in this squad to turn around for some dejection to get a decent result, or at least performance.
Okay, so what we're saying is disappointed.
Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, it's December.
Yeah, we've still got time to put things right. I think it'd be very hard to argue against the fact that Rangers completely dominated that game on Sunday, but ultimately we're not quite there yet. Bit more refining to do, but it needn't be the end of this season.
If Rangers play like that in the bulk of their games between now and May, they'll win the title.